What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit your subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 16. Listen, I wanted to do this review last night, honey. I was hot and fired after I watched this episode, but it was late, and I had to get up in the morning, and I just couldn't do it. But let's be clear. First of all, shouts out to Sutton, because Sutton, out of all of these ladies, at first glance, Sutton is the one that you would think would probably be the most meek, the most mild, the most intimidated, and she the only one at that table that stood up to Erika Jayne, okay? She is the only one who stood up to Erika, and like she told Kyle later on in the episode, I have said more to her. I have questioned her more. I have questioned her stories and everything else more than all of the rest of y'all put together. And she ain't telling no lies, okay? Shouts out to PK. PK gets the MVP this week because PK said what everybody else was thinking too, okay? So we pick up where we left off. We are still at this damn dinner party. Poor Kathy Hilton is worried about her souffles falling, honey. And she said, listen, I don't know about the rest of these ladies, but I want my souffle. And y'all done messed it up. Y'all done ruined the souffles, okay? Her butler said he ain't never seen ladies fight like this before. He just don't know what this is all about. So Erika and Sutton get to arguing back and forth. And Erika threatens Sutton. She tells her, you better watch your mouth. She said, I'm gonna come for you. And Sutton was like, what that mean? She said, that just means you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth. She gonna say in her confessional, all I'm saying is, she better watch what she say, because you should be careful what you say about people who are not here, because, I mean, he ain't dead. But according to you, he's senile and half blind and limping, and he can't remember nothing. He got a traumatic injury. Girl, you can't have it both ways, Erika. You can't have it both ways, Erika. Either he is this, you know, this on top of it sharp barracuda of an attorney, or he's this meek, mild old man who don't remember his last name and be slobbering all over himself. Like, you can't have it both ways. But neither here nor there, honey. You done threatened Sutton, and Sutton is sitting there looking crazy. Dorit is finally trying to stand up to her. Kyle throws a little yuck in there, a little yuck in there, and Erika tells all of them they need to shut the hell up. Lisa Rinna is on the end of the table, drunk as hell, talking about, can we all just take a chill for a minute? Lisa Rinna, if you don't go sit your ass down, then they're gonna hand. So Sutton leaves, but let me tell you what Sutton made sure she did. Now, Sutton got up to leave because she said, I will not do this. I'm not going to sit here and be threatened. Like, I do a whole lot of stuff, but I ain't about to sit here and be threatened. But let me tell you what Sutton made sure her ass did. She made sure she picked up that Baccarat box. But did I say it right? Baccarat. That's the gambling game down to the Vegas. Did I say that right? Baccarat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She took that damn box with her. I'd have done the same thing too, Sutton. Let's be clear. But Sutton made sure she got her gift before she left up out of there. And so Garcelle walks around. Kathy, Kyle, they try to get her to come back in. They want her to go in the library, talking about maybe we should go in the library and talk about it. And Kyle is telling Sutton, I just want you to own it. Just say it. Just say it. Oh, let me rewind. While they at the table, Kyle keeps trying to tell Sutton, just say what you said. Just say what you said. Now you're looking two-faced. You're looking two-faced. Just say what you said. And Sutton was like, girl, what? Did you not hear this woman just threaten me? Did you not hear this woman already coming at me with her fangs out, looking crazy and demented and deranged? And now you want me to say more? Kyle, if you don't shut your damn mouth. And now Kyle want her to come back in the house talking about something. We can go into the study, in the library, and we can talk about it. I just want you to own it. She sounded like Lisa Rinna. I just want you to own it. I just want you to own it. Girl. Kyle, you were the ish of the week in this episode, because there's a couple of other times in this episode that you got on my nerves. But all of that, let's be clear. I said this in my review last week, and again, I understand we're making a TV show, and I understand that we are all here for the drama. But when Erika told Sutton she didn't want to talk about it, it should have ended there. And Sutton tried to end it. But y'all are trying to force this woman to have a conversation that Erika has clearly said she don't want to have. And Sutton said, well, all right then. At that point, Sutton ain't being two-faced. You know why Sutton's not being two-faced? Because she tried to have the conversation with Erika. Yes, she told you, Kyle, that when I see Erika, I'm going to say what I got to say. And she tried. And Erika shut her down and said, I don't have anything to say to you. We don't have anything to talk about. I don't want to have a conversation. What more was Sutton supposed to do? But see, here's the problem. Sutton is doing what the rest of y'all wish y'all could do, but y'all don't have enough balls to do. So y'all keep pushing Sutton to do it because y'all like, well, she already mad at Sutton. Sutton might as well keep taking the beatings so we can sit back and be innocent and sweet and look all innocent, at least until Erica sees these episodes, which is now where Erica is all on social media. She all mad and in her feelings because now she sees these episodes and realizes that, hell, Sutton was the only one that was actually trying to be upfront with me about how she felt, okay? Neither here nor there, child. The dinner party abruptly ends, and Erica feels like she has won something. I told y'all last week we saw the real Erica Jane glare her damn fangs, and we saw the real Erica Jane again, okay? And y'all know I used to really like Erica, but I can't say I'm a fan anymore. But I used to really like Erica Jane, but no ma'am. Some of my teeth. So then the dinner party is over, child. The dinner party is over. Erica feel like she won. She holding that damn cat, looking like a dog, but looking like Mr. Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, holding that damn cat. Like, I was like, ooh, Erica, this is not a good look. Like, you really look demonic right now. Like, am I the only one? Am I doing too much? Let me know if I'm doing too much. Okay. So the next day, we see Lisa Rinna going to visit Garcelle. Y'all, Lisa make me want to, I can't, listen. Lisa really be making me want to cuss her ass out. So Lisa comes over there and Garcelle tries to have a conversation with Lisa and say, listen, I really feel like you haven't had my back. Like, I feel like, me and you supposed to be working on our relationship, our friendship, but I honestly feel like all this stuff that's going on, you have left me hanging. When that whole thing went down with Dorit, you kind of was silent, when some other, with that whole situation that happened with Erica, when we was down to La Quinta, you ain't have a whole lot to say. And I just felt like you weren't there for me. Now, Lisa is going to say, well, what happened last night? Because, girl, I was drunk. Let me tell you something. You could have drank a whole bottle of Jack Daniels whiskey, and you still would have known what the hell went down at that dinner table the night before. Lisa, you playing stupid and you playing dumb. You know why you playing stupid and you playing dumb? Because you're scared of Erica Jane. Because the same way you came for Denise last year talking about, just own it, Denise. Just own it. I don't believe you. Just own it. The same way you came at her is the same way your ass was supposed to be coming for Erica Jane down to that dinner, at the dinner party, and at any other opportunities you've had this season to hold Erica Jane's feet to the fire. But you won't do that, right? Ain't nowhere in the world that you're going to sit here and tell me that you believe everything that has come out of Erica Jane's mouth and that you don't have no questions and no challenges for her. And don't hide behind, she's going through a lot right now. She's going through such a tough time right now. You threw your friend of 30 years over the rail. I ain't even going to say under the bus. You threw her ass off the balcony last year for this paycheck down to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's be clear. I think it was a little jealousy involved in that too because of how much Denise was making. But that's another conversation for another day. So Garcelle was like, huh, really? I mean, Lisa was like, huh, really? So then Lisa says, well, if you want to talk, let's talk. Let's be honest. And Garcelle was like, sure, let's be honest. This hooker gonna say, well, I feel like you didn't kiss my ass enough when I bought you old funky birthday cake and when me and my husband bought you some damn pasta sauce that he made after you said you liked the pasta sauce over to my house. Listen, Garcelle was like, but I said thank you in the moment. I know, but you didn't call me afterwards to follow up. So how many times exactly am I supposed to kiss your ass? If somebody does something for me and I say thank you, I'm sorry. Is that the protocol? Now, I know if somebody sends you a gift or like at a party or a wedding or a baby shower, I know that it is acceptable that you send out a thank you card because you may or may not have time to thank everyone in the moment, or people drop off gifts or send gifts to you. I understand that being the protocol. But if we're at a gathering and you do something for me and I say, thank you so much, girl, I'm supposed to call you back and follow up the thank you with another thank you? That's the protocol? Because if that's the case, I've been out of protocol my whole damn life. What the fuck? Then she goes, and I was like, Lisa, girl, let's just admit that at this point in time, you just don't see it for Garcelle. You ain't got nothing for Garcelle. You don't see it for Garcelle. And guess what? It's okay, because I really feel like Garcelle don't see it for you either. I feel like y'all just make it nice for these damn cameras, honestly. Moving on. Sutton, girl. So Sutton had this obligation to film with Kyle the next day. Let's be clear. I'm pretty sure that if Sutton could have gotten out of filming with Kyle the next day, I'm sure she would have. But y'all know how this stuff goes. They plan this shit weeks in advance, especially for this situation. The next day, Sutton is going to a viewing for a private auction. I mean, a private viewing for an auction. You know, rich people do that. When stuff is going to go on auction, they get these private viewings so they can get a chance to see what's going to go up on auction, kind of get an idea of what they want, what they don't want, how much they willing to pay, and all that good stuff. So Sutton is looking for stuff for herself, I'm sure, but also for her store. Now, I didn't realize that Sutton's store was like that. I thought Sutton's store was like a nice little high-end couture boutique. I didn't realize she was buying stuff like this for her store. Child, when I'm in Beverly Hills, I'm just going to have to ride by and wave, because I don't believe that I'll even be able to afford to walk in Sutton's store. But they have stuff there from Cartier and Rothschilds and all kinds of stuff, honey. Now, both of them bought a ring that was $3,000-$4,000. You know, they looking at diamond earrings that are $200,000, and they ain't even blinking. Like, they're not even like, oh, girl, did she say $200,000? Sutton gonna say, oh, that's not a bad price. See, Sutton, listen. For the exception of Garcelle, ain't none of them women your real friends, okay? Call me. I will hang out with you, Sutton. I think you're a little eccentric, okay? I think you're a little quirky, but I can work with that, because you be having private viewings down to the Dolce & Gabbana house, and you be getting crowns every year and shit. And now you be getting private viewings with Cartier watches, and you don't even blink at a $250,000 bracelet. I don't even want you to buy nothing. I just want to be around. I just want to see the shit up close and personal. Now, I will take that Birkin bag you had when you're done with it. That yellow Birkin bag against that white outfit you had on, baby, was absolutely gorgeous, okay? When you're done with it, when it's no longer in season, I'll take it. I will take it off your hands. So while they're there having their little private viewing or whatever, they get to talking about what had happened the night before. Kyle's bitch ass, and yes, I said it, because Kyle got on my absolute nerves. Sutton was like, well, when my friend, and she said that shit in air quotes, baby, that thing set Kyle off. She was like, what are you talking about, Sutton? I've been a really good friend to you. Why would you put it in air quotes? Why would you do that to me, Sutton? I've been a really good friend to you. I was like, no, the fuck you haven't. Because what you should have done last night was let that shit go. You kept pushing Sutton, talking about, Sutton, own it. Sutton, just own it. Just say it, because you're going to look two-faced. And Kyle, you know, Sutton was like, well, no. Because I had said what I had to say to Erica, and you kept pressing me. Like, I kind of blame you for a part of how that whole thing went down, because you kept pressing me and pressing me and pressing me, and I had already said I was done with it, and I said my piece, and you were making me do something I was not comfortable doing, and it ended up with that girl threatening me. Woman, I'm gonna call her girl. That woman threatening me. And Kyle was like, well, you would say that the next time you see her, you're going to say, she said, I tried. She said she didn't have nothing to say to me, Kyle. Well, I just don't want you to look two-faced. See, that's when you know somebody has been on reality TV too long, and they know how this shit is going to look. And so that what she's, at least this is what she's saying, because it's bullshit. But I don't want on camera the people to say you, but I would never have said that, because I do feel like Sutton has said more to these ladies than any of them have said to Erica's face. I mean, it's more to Erica than any of these ladies have said to Erica's face. The rest of them have sat back and just talked shit. Now, I'm going to give Dorit a close second. Okay? Because Dorit has had a few bursts of, well, Erica, hold up now. But for the most part, it has been Sutton on those front lines taking all the damn hits. Okay? Baby Sutton got her happy ass and walked off. Kyle turned around and finished talking to Sutton, and Sutton was leaving. Kyle was like, girl, where you going? She said, because I'm done with this conversation, and I'm done with you right now. I said, I know that's right, Sutton. You better take your happy ass on her. Now, she did say that later on she came back and they finished shopping. But in that moment, I was here for it, because Kyle really thought she was about to turn around and start pleading her case, and Sutton was gone. Anyway, Date night with Dorit and PK. I don't care about none of the rest of this other than PK telling Dorit that Erica, it ain't a good look. Erica is down to the social media wearing lingerie, telling people to kiss her ass and lick her wop, and how it ain't a good look, and how you have to, he said, listen, I filed a multi-billion-dollar bankruptcy. It was a corporate bankruptcy, but I absolutely had to carry myself differently. I had to look different. I had to act different, and I had to present a certain way publicly. If not, when I went into court, it could have absolutely kicked me in the butt, because it's not about reality. It's about the perception. The perception is you are telling everybody to kiss your ass. And they started showing pictures of Erica, in all the lingerie. And Dorit was like, well, she's a brand ambassador. So those pictures, basically, that's contractual. And she was a brand ambassador for Fenty. She's since been fired. But at the time she was, and that's fine. Post the pictures if that's what you are legally obligated to do. But what you don't have to do is put those captions on there, basically telling everybody to kiss your ass and lick your wop and all that other stuff in response to what was going on in the media. Erica Jane has handled this whole situation so horribly through social media. First of all, there's no reason other than obligations, that you have contractual obligations. There's absolutely no other reason why Erica Jane should be on social media. She should not be on social media talking to people, responding to people, tweeting people. Hell, she doxed her own damn judge. All that shit is not a good look, Erica. And I'm sure that a million people have told you that and you ain't listening, so who the hell am I? But at the end of the day, I think it's going to all come back and bite you in the ass. And PK said as much to Dorit. And he basically is letting, and Dorit is, you can tell Dorit is worried about what he's saying on camera. PK don't give a damn. He said, at the end of the day, the last thing you need to be doing is laying up with your twat up in the air. Well, he said with your legs in the air. Now, let's be clear. PK ain't always been my favorite person, but on this one, he was spot on. And he was on top of it. And he's saying everything that the rest of us are saying. He said, you ain't saying nothing about the victims. You're not even acting like you give a damn about the victims. Like, all of this is about you, and how this has affected you. And he basically said, Erica need to get, she's not getting good advice from the right people, because it ain't a good look. It just ain't. He was like, and I don't really care. I don't care how you feel. I don't care about that the cameras are there. And matter of fact, he probably said all of that because the cameras were there, so that everybody would know how he felt. Listen, everybody is conscious of the cameras right now. Okay? Anyway, y'all, so that is what had happened, child. So, y'all, not Sutton. Garcelle is having a traditional Haitian dinner. She's inviting the ladies over to her home. She said, first of all, I want to invite the ladies into my home. I want them to see, I want to have them here. But I also want to share my culture with them. I want them to get to know me a little bit better, understand who I am and where I come from. And I'll be honest with you, baby, I got me a good little history lesson too. Because when they were going through it and explaining the different foods and the connection to those foods, like I don't remember the traditional names, but there was like a pumpkin soup, and they said that pumpkins were illegal. I mean, they were not allowed to eat pumpkins. And Erica asked, she was like, well, why is that? And they said because pumpkins were for the white elite. It was considered a delicacy, and so the commoners or the slaves, or I'm not sure how far back, because I won't, I'm not how but they weren't allowed to have pumpkin. So it's their freedom soup. It's their freedom soup. So anyway, something else. They had the conch fish, and because it goes back to the days of no refrigeration, so it's a salted conch. And conch is not a fish, I'm sorry, but it's a salted conch, And so not only were the ladies eating traditional Haitian food, but as they were eating it, they were getting a lesson on what it is and why it is a part of the tradition and why it is connected to the culture. And I was here for all of it. Now, I'll be honest with you. I can respect the fact that everybody tried everything, even though they were a little nervous about some of the stuff they tried. Lisa Rinna said, I'm not a big fish eater, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for Garcelle. When the chef described conch as like a snail of the sea, child Kyle's face went, ooh, snail of the sea. But it was a nice moment. Lisa Rinna was the first one there. Why Lisa Rinna always the first one to show up? Does that mean she really don't have nothing else going on in her life? Even though I did see an advertisement down to the Peacock, she is on some new show down to the Peacock Plus or the Paramount Plus. Days of Our Lives, Beyond Salem. That's Peacock because Days of Our Lives was an NBC show, right? Anyway, it is what it is. So she got another job, okay? But she just so early every like I don't remember her always being early, but I ain't never paid no attention to Lisa Rinna ass either. But anyway, so of course she was early. And Garcelle came down and they were talking about who they thought was gonna be late. And so they made a little $20 bet that it would be Dorit or it would be Kathy Hilton. Of course, Dorit was the next person to show up, and Garcelle was like, "Oh my gosh, I bet Lisa that you would be the last one here." And of course, Dorit immediately took it as, "You still throwing jabs, Garcelle? Girl, ain't nobody throwing jabs. Your ass be late." Let's not forget when y'all was over in Europe last year, how they had to wait for your ass to get done with glam. Let's not forget when y'all was down to Teddy's situation, your ass showed up 3 hours late because you was in glam and taking pictures in your glam. Like, girl, stop acting like your ass be early or on time for shit. You are late all the time, Dorit. And if for Garcelle to make that type of a bet, that means that you are late considerably for her to be like, she gonna be the last one here. Actually, she wasn't next. Crystal was next, and then then Dorit. Then Erica came and Kyle came. Kathy ain't coming. Kathy said, "Let me tell y'all what y'all not gonna do. Y'all done came up in my house. Y'all done acted damn fools. I'm gonna sit over here. I'm gonna pour me a nice glass of wine. I'm gonna kick my feet up, and I'm gonna enjoy my dogs. Ain't nobody got time for y'all hoes." That's what Kathy said. Kathy was like, "I done gave y'all what I have for this week. That's it. I'm tapping out. That's it. I don't have nothing else for y'all. I'm not driving down there for the bullshit. I'm not doing it." And you know who lost in that? We did. The viewers. Because who does not enjoy Kathy Hilton? Okay, the viewers lost, honey. So anyway, Sutton gets there, and of course, Sutton and Erica, the tension, you can cut it with a knife. Let's be clear. Erica and Sutton did not speak the rest of the night. They didn't acknowledge each other's presence. They didn't acknowledge each other in the room. And you know what? I don't have a whole lot for Crystal Minkoff. I can't do her. But the one thing she said, I'm fast forward to the end because they had the dinner. The dinner was nice. Of course, they had to try to revisit the bullshit, but Sutton wasn't entertaining it. Erica wasn't entertaining it, and so the conversation just kind of passed me by. Again, I told you they talked about the food and all that good stuff. But when dinner was over, the ladies were there. Erica left, Lisa left, Dorit left. So Crystal, Garcelle, Kyle, and Sutton. Or did Sutton leave too? I don't know, but what I can appreciate that Crystal said, because Kyle was like, "Well, how do we get past this? How do we?" Oh yeah, because Sutton was there, because Kyle was trying to figure out how they can make up and how they could get past it, and Crystal was like, "They don't." Well, and here go Kyle. Well, it's just very uncomfortable when I'm in a small, intimate gathering and two of the people that are there just aren't speaking to each other. It is very uncomfortable. I mean, can we at least get to a point where we're cordial? Crystal was like, they were cordial. She said, "Here's the thing. Everybody ain't going to be friends. That's it. That's all. Everybody ain't going to be friends, and everybody don't have to be friends." So at the end of the day, they're not pretending to be friends. They're not pretending to be anything more than what they are. They have hit a point of no return for both ends, because Sutton wants an apology and Erica wants an apology, and ain't neither one of them going to damn apologize. So that's it. That's all. And guess what? Sometimes that's the best you're going to get. Now, I'm here for Crystal for that, because I could tell you there's been plenty of times that I've been in a room with people that I don't fuck with. But for the purposes of my other friends who are cool with them, I make it do what it do. I ain't rude, but I ain't nice. It just is what it is. We just coexist. We are co-workers at this point. And that is what Erica and Sutton are at this point. They are co-workers. But once again, here go Kyle. "Well, I just want to see if there's any way we could work this out." No. There's no working anything out. That's it. That's all. This is where we are. We not friends. We don't like each other. But once again, Kyle and that bullshit. Now you want to play nice and you want everybody to make up. Girl, if you had shut your mouth at the dinner party, we wouldn't even be here. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. That's all I got. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.